Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon, so you never miss any new updates, cause whenever we upload new video you will get a notification on your phone.
Hi, today in my bench I have this Miraco. It's a music box slash audio monitor. So it is portable and it is Chinese from the looks of it. The neat thing about this model that it is portable, it's all in one. So it has a built-in battery and an amplifier. Now Miraco, as you can see, if I just zoom in a little bit from here, it's a Chinese brand that makes electronics sets like telephones, um, home audio systems, real cheesy home audio system, not high class, and this guy over here. Now, as you can see, this is the tweeter and this is a woofer, and by the size of it, it is about 15-inch. I'm curious just to see what this thing is, but we will take a minute. But we will take a look at it when we disassemble it. However, the complaint, as I said, that the customer who brings this, he bought it and for his home use. And the cool thing, as I mentioned it before, it is portable. That means it has a built-in battery and an SD reader and USB reader, and also a Bluetooth capability. Now, as he said, the customer, that is, he connected in the back to a 12-volt external battery, and after that there is no sound came out of it. Now let me turn it on. This is the back of the unit. As you can see, all the microcontroller, LED set here, LED, yeah, on. Okay, as we can see, the screen is on. Don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it is on, and there is number in it. Don't know if you can see the number. The glare is affecting the camera. Maybe if it did focus a little bit. No, it's not going to focus. Okay, as you can see, there is the SD card, the USB, and all the functions that you can find in all of these MP3 modelers. This is so cool. I love this. But as you can see, there's no hum, no anything coming out of the speaker. Nothing. If I just move the mic, nothing. Now, let me. Oh my God, this is really heavy. Nothing. So here is the back of the unit, and they say that it has this link over here, plugs. These are the same kind of plugs that you find them in the output of any amplifier, but in this case they are used for battery in. So this is the battery in, and says here 12 volts, and this is according to his word that he connected the wires to. And this is, and also a charging port. Now this charging port is rated for DC adapter, wall wart, DC 9 volts, 1.5 amps, and this is the charging LED. Mic in, and this is all the controllers and the MP3 players, and the model number is AX-1015 Miraco. Yeah. This is the weirdest kind of LCD screen that I ever encountered with. Play AVAX mode. This is the radio. So this thing has a SD card, radio, a Bluetooth, and a USB. And this is the controller, the controls knob, in the back, volume. I like the feel of the controls knobs. They are like rubberish kind. I really like these. They feel really cool. And by the way, this entire construction, it feels really solid. This thing weighs. Now, the customer, as he mentioned it, that he opened it up and he tried to see what kind of damage there is inside, but he could not see anything as he elaborated. So he held this back cover by these two screws. This is one and this is the other one. Now let's turn this power switch off and remove these two screws and take a look at the inside and see what kind of circuit we are dealing with. And this is the circuit or the inside of this music box. As you can see, this is the tweeter, the positive, and this side over here. This is really hard to get to, but I believe these are the two leads. This is the strangest kind of tweeter that I ever encountered with, because usually the positive, the red one, is in this side over here. Typically all kind of speakers, they are in this side, but in this case this is the positive in this side over here. And the same thing to this subwoofer. Look at the size of the magnet of the subwoofer, and these are the, I don't know why they are, what these wires are. I believe, because we have an RGB circuit in the front of the speaker, so I believe these leads are for the supplying the voltage for these RGB circuit. Let me just adjust a circuit so you can see it better. As you can see here, if we follow the wires, and this is the switch for the RGB, and I'm right. This is the positive and this is the negative. Now the negative, it's the black one in here. Yeah. Oh my god. This is the battery that runs the entire set, and this is a 7.4 volts, and these are a lithium ion battery. the same kind of batteries that you find them in the normal a power bank. So 3.6 or 3.7 plus another one 3.7 equals 7.4 volts. And this is the entire set. What the? Wow. Is this it? Is this the amplifier? I don't know what if I can read the number. If I just zoom in a little bit. Oh yeah, this is definitely the number for it. And they are using the this camera just focus. The CS8511E. I don't know what this is. And these are the two shocks that they act like a, look at the traces. These are really beefy traces. Let me pull a schematic to this IC and see what this IC is. I'm betting that this IC is the amplifier. Now but before I do this, as we see that this plug is disconnected, and this plug is for the woofer. So let me just plug it in and see what's up with this circuit. Oh, don't know if you can hear it. Oh. So this is definitely the amplifier IC, and this thing, it is not heating up, and if I touch the leads in here, I don't get anything. Nothing. No hum, no nothing. So this IC, it is definitely gone. But let me first pull out a schematic for it and see what's inside and how this circuit is and how it works. So I went online and I use my Samsung mobile, and I found a schematic. As you can see, it's an application. This is the CS8511E. It's an amplifier, dual output, input. So this chip control all. Two input. This is one in output, input in N, output in, input P, output P. And this is basically controller. Actually, I believe it is a standby. And this is the table, truth table for it. It's in Chinese. It's like a mute. This is very driven. It's like a mute. So it is standby. So what this does it brings the entire set or the entire ship to a standby position. And this is a ground positive, and the positive, it is really ridiculously low. It is from 3 volt to 8.8 volt or 6.8 volt. So this is like a child play. This can deliver a peak amplification. This does not and drive the speaker, this speaker in a frequency mode amplification. So this thing does not depend on driving as a power or it doesn't put real power, because in order to have power, to give power, you must have power. This is the common principle in all of the devices, and amplifiers are the same. So what do you expect from a set that it is run by 2 batteries, 3.7, total of a voltage output of 7.4 volts on 2200 milliamp maximum, and yeah, you get the idea. So I'm going to get my DMM and test this pin over here. This pin, the control, as you can see, it is the pin 3, and see if the pin 3 in on position, it is getting the 2.2 or a similar voltages like they say in this table over here. And because if this voltage it is coming and still there is no voice, so the IC it is toasted. So let me pause this video and get the DMM. So back on the Miraco amplifier box, I contacted all of my usual suppliers, and none of them seems to heard of this IC or this number. And yeah, because it is Chinese and very cheap Chinese. So yeah, I contacted the owner and I briefed him on the situation, and he asked it if I could modify this this unit in order so he can use it again, and I said yes, and I told him that the suitable IC for driving this woofer over here and this tweeter over here, it's the TDA 7377, and this should supply enough power in order so it can drive this woofer and this tweeter in an ease. But the only downside of using this IC that it's required a minimum operation voltage of 9 volts. So this battery, it cannot supply this kind of power to the amplifier. But taking a look at this plug, as we saw earlier, that this is a 12 volt input jack. So I'm going to use this 12 volt input jack and put a protection circuit, a reverse polarity protection circuit, and also connect a regulator circuit so I can supply this board in the same kind of power like it said here in the battery, and use that IC and connect it instead of this IC over here. And he asked if I could install another jack like this, but for a output external speaker, and has the same characteristics or the same specs like this speaker over here, so, and the same size, because he had another one of this, and I said yes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to install this jack over here, an output jack for the 2 lines for the tweeter and 2 lines for the subwoofer, and also I'm going to use another amplifier for driving that speaker as well. So I'm going to make this adjustment or this modification like I said, and make that board, and I will proceed from there. Back on a Miraco music box / audio monitor, I made a few circuits in order so this unit it is reverse polarity protected and also user protected. I made this circuit. This circuit it is an electronic switch, because I use this switch so it can switch on and off the battery, and I also made this amplifier board. Now let's first review the switch and what I did. Originally this switch it is controlled and disconnect the internal battery, the 7.4 battery, but because I'm using an external battery, 12 volt external battery, and this is a 5 amp switch, I decided to use this switch in order to turn on and off the external battery in order so it cannot be drained out. So what I did, I came up with this circuit, and this circuit allow you to control and use the switch to disconnect the external battery, the 12 volt external battery, and in the same time disconnect the power from the built-in battery. So this circuit, it's quite simple but yet effective, and it uses a PNP transistor, the BA772, and this transistor is controlled by this transistor, which is an NPN transistor. The number is C2SC C945, and it is controlled by this switch. So when you flip the switch on, this diode become energized by 12 volt, and this resistor that feed and control the base of the C945 turns it on. So once this transistor is turned on and become conductive, so it conduct the collector to the emitter, to the ground, and this transistor, the PNP, become energized, and this battery or this collector of the PNP become controlled. So this battery is connected, terminal is connected to this pin over here. So after I explain how this electronic switch work, let's move on to the modification that I did in the amplifier board. Originally I used a TDA 7377 in order so it can drive the woofer and the tweeter. And by the way they installed the tweeter and the driver, they install it in this manner over here. Now this is, and pardon my drawing, this is a tweeter, and the tweeter have two leads, a positive and a negative. Now what they did, and this is the woofer, and the woofer have positive and a negative. So what they did, they connected like so. This is from the IC, the original IC, and the original IC they use it as a bridge. So in order so they can get the 17 watts, that little IC, and they connected the tweeter through this bipolar capacitor, and this bipolar capacitor, it is connect the tweeter in parallel with the woofer. So I use the same design, and I use the IC I connected the TDA 7377 in a bridge mode, and I use one of the output pins in order so it can drive the internal woofer and the tweeter. As you can see here, the leads, these two leads, if I just can hold it a little bit, these two leads, they are designed and they are exist so they can, this leads over here, so these leads supply the woofer and the tweeter, and I connected them to the bridge output of the one of the bridge output of the TDA 7377, and I use another IC. It is also connected in parallel in the same input, and I install this jack over here so I can supply and connected these two jacks to another two speakers if he wish, because he asked first if he could connect one speaker, and then he called me again and asked for another one, so I installed this arrangement. So this connection over here, this is for one speaker that has the same block diagram like this, and also the other one that have the same specs like the original one. One thing I have to mention it, that the TDA 7377, it is have in the bridge mode have the capability of driving up to 30 watt of power. So this is a very suitable option for modifying this kind of amplifier, and has a very good reputation that it is very flexible, and it's really cool. I designed this circuit over here in order so it can charge the battery, and it's basically an 8-volt regulator, so it can charge the 7.4 volts. And also I connected and I designed a mute circuit so I can control in the mute function of the TDA 7377. And I made this relay based protection, reverse polarity protection circuit, so in order so if he accidentally switched the polarity, the positive and the negative, it doesn't affect or burn anything in this unit. So I'm going to bring the woofer and the tweeter box and connected them through the leads, jacks, and test the sound out of it and see what kind of voice or what kind of sound I should get out of it. So this is the woofer and the tweeter assembly of the Miraco, and I already connected their leads to their built-in pins on the original amplifier board that came from the factory, and I use these two batteries, the 6-volt batteries, as a 12-volt power battery pack in order so I can supply the unit with power. And I'm going to use the built-in MP3 player in order so I can play a song, so I can test the amplification of this unit. So I inserted my flash memory stick, and I'm going to turn down all the control keys, and I'm going to flip the power switch on. As we can see, it is started to play. Let's see if we can get a decent sound out of this unit. This is the bass. Yeah, the bass, it's really nice. And this is the tweeter. It is very clear, actually. Very clear sound, but it is not that loud. And for a 30-watt speakers and an amplifier, it should produce much more louder sound. And why is that? There is something missing of this circuit, and that is a pre-EMP circuit. So what does a pre-EMP circuit do? A pre-EMP circuit, it allows you to boost up the signal that came from the control board and boost it up for a level that allow the amplifier to even amplify it even more. So this unit is working very well, but I believe it needed a pre-EMP circuit. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make this circuit, and because it is a single line signal unit, one transistor pre-EMP circuit will do the trick very well. So I'm going to do this circuit and install it, and then I will retest it again. So I made the pre-EMP circuit and I connected it between the signal that came out of the original board and the pre-EMP, and I rewired the volume control key like so. The original volume control, that it was connected directly to the board, and it is connected in the circuit in the first line in the circuit. It means that it takes the signal that directly came out of the MP3 modeler and control the amount of signal that came to the rest of the board. But in this case, after the pre-EMP do its job and boost up the volume or the signal, it travel through the volume key and directly to the amplifier ICs. So this way you will get more accurate control on the volume, and it worked very well. And now I'm going to try it and see what kind of sound we should get out of this unit after this modification. Okay. Okay. Let me just boost up the volume a little bit. This is much more louder now. Wow, this is a lot more louder now after this install or this modification, and this proves my troubleshooting that it needed a pre-EMP. And the volume, as you can see, installed in this point of the circuit, revealed that there is no distortion and better control from the original design. Good God, this is loud. Very loud, actually. Let me bring my clamp meter and test the current and how much this unit it's drawing. It should be drawing at the middle up to 1 amp. So I'm going to grab it and test it. So this is my clamp meter, and I already connected it, and now I'm going to power it up. It's drawing now up to 230 milliamp. Let me boost up the volume.
Sarà perché ti amo, è un'emozione che cresce piano piano, stringimi forte e stammi più vicino, se ci sto bene, sarà perché ti amo. Io canto al ritmo del dolce tuo respiro, è primavera.
So this circuit or this amplifier board, it is drawing on one speaker or one woofer and one tweeter up to 1.8 milliamp, and that is correct consumption for this amplifier and this assembly.
Per far confusione fuori dentro di te, vola vola si va, sempre in alto si va, vola vola.
Good God, this is loud. I don't want to set next to this woofer when it's working in the full bass or even in a medium signal. Wow, because this thing will definitely cause ear damage. Yeah. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to install the knobs and put some hot glue in order so I can hold the wires of the new volume pot, and then I'm going to install it in its place and connect the loose wires or the cut wires, and this thing is ready to go. So I reassemble all the unit as I mentioned it before, and I reconnect all the disconnected wires, and I resolder them in their places, and I secure all of the plugs using my hot silicone glue. And let's turn it on for the last time and see what kind of sound we should get out of this unit. Let me first turn on the RGBs, because and see after the modification how they will play. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. All the controls are down. We turn it on. As you can see, the LED screen or the MP3 screen is playing. This is, yeah, I don't like that screen whatsoever. Yeah, let me try the RGBs at first. Wow. Let me turn off the flash and see the RGBs more clearly. After I turn off the flash, as you can see, this is the colors of the RGB circuit that it is producing. It's not bright, but however it is there and the colors are really cool. Now these colors I like, they are warm and they are suitable for playing at night. Whoa. They will make a really good cozy lights at night. Now let's turn up the volume and see what kind of sound we should get out of this unit. So as you can see, the unit is working fine and the woofer is producing the correct sound and in the correct momentum, and this unit is ready to be delivered. So if you like this video, please subscribe, like. Thank you for watching. See you next time.